All right, everyone. Soccer World Fan TV here. We do have another debutant, Jeffrey, in the building, who is a Man United supporter. Just saw his team absolutely demolish Real Sociedad.
I'm
Um,
out. I'm out. I'm out.
anyways, um, but yeah, kind of a shaky start. But mate, tell me how you feel about the game overall.
I think overall, Man United maintain composure pretty well. Um, Real Sociedad hasn't had much in attacking sense. There are a bit of good crosses, but not much finishing. I think overall the team did reasonably well. Real Sociedad was really not there. Two of the goals was a very easy pass straight through, and overall pretty good performance, yeah, from United.
Yeah, for sure. I think we got to give props defensively as well. Of course, in the beginning it was kind of back and forth and everything, but I think Maguire definitely stepped up to the plate, especially this game. And how did you feel about like the defense overall?
At first, I was a bit not too sure about putting Alex Telles, but overall, I think from stopping crosses and moving forward, I think he's done pretty well. Um, Having Eric Bailly with Harry Maguire, I think definitely gives a different change in terms of defense. Gives a bit. Eric Bailly does give a bit more of athleticism and a bit of aerial defense compared to Victor Lindelof. And I think Solskjaer in this particular game is trying to test out a little bit of change. You can see also having Dean Henderson in goal is a surprise and definitely a good change. You can see that he's done well as well, and a clean sheet. And I've been pretty impressed with the defense.
And of course, Bruno Fernandes a double tonight. Man, I mean, like obviously, fans are very polarized when it comes to him. Some see him as like this elite player and everything, and others absolutely, definitely hate on him, and
You
question in
flip.
terms of his credibility in the big games and everything. What would it take for Bruno Fernandes to finally, for I think everybody worldwide to realize that he's a top quality
Oh, you
player
flip.
towards the masses?
I think at the moment he's shown that he is definitely a huge boost to Manchester United. I would say if the second in terms of leadership as well, I would believe he'll probably come next after Harry Maguire as well. Gives a lot of passion to the game, gives a lot of really good vision as well, really good passing, and overall, I think he just by his individual brilliance, he's already shown that he can score goals, he can assist, but overall as a team player, I think he's absolutely brilliant as well. And I think overall, as you could see throughout the season in the Premier League as well as now in the Europa League, I think you can definitely see he'll score more goals, he'll give more assists, and definitely improve Man United. A very good purchase from last year.
For sure, and let's talk about the opposition. What went wrong with the opposition, especially on the defensive end, especially where they left a lot of space and everything with Real Sociedad? Do you think it's just down to them having like really bad form, or do you think it's just the quality of the league and the intensity that Man United brings is far superior than Real Sociedad?
Overall, I think the defense has been a little bit too slow, but also the fact that when it comes to the midfield does have to cover your defense. When you have a team like Man United where you have Fred and McTominay, their main goal is to intercept and immediately press forward. So when the two of them intercept the ball, immediately press forward, the midfield from Real Sociedad wasn't able to cover, wasn't able to defend, and one of the goals you see that Fred put a really nice through ball straight through the midfield, straight through the defense, and they scored from that opportunity. So I think overall, Real Sociedad defensively has been poor. In terms of tactics, hasn't been too great. If they had put more focused a bit more in the midfield defensively, I would say that would probably help cover the defense and probably wouldn't have been such a easy game for United.
And talking about Man United in general and Solskjaer, obviously he's been in mixed form in recent history, but still currently second right now in the Premier League. Still competing for the FA Cup and like all those other cup competitions. sorry, not the EFL Cup, but still like with the Europa League and of course the FA Cup. Do you think now this season you should still win a trophy by the end of the season, especially with the squad you have, especially how you've been performing this season? Do you think you should be, expected to win one of those like cup competitions?
I would say United definitely have a good chance. They have a really good squad at the moment. I would say compared to Manchester City, they're still a bit behind in terms of quality and depth. But I think that they do have a good chance in those competitions. And sometimes United do turn up, but there are times where just the United players haven't doesn't seem to have as much drive, doesn't seem to be doing as well. I think the consistency has to be improved, and we can tell that Solskjaer is definitely addressing some of the issues that has been appearing in Premier League as well as in Champions League and then now Europa League. So you can see the changes in defense. You see Daniel James actually coming in, a little bit of a difference. Trying to see, I would say Cavani has been in terrific form. I would say these little changes. Cavani didn't come with the squad for this match, and having Marcus Rashford back up as a striker again, having these little bits of changes, I think Solskjaer is really looking to improve the form, to improve consistency, and I think definitely. In terms of Premier League, might be a bit of a stretch, but in terms of the cup games and Europa League, I think Man United have a really good chance.
Mm-hmm. And there's been a polarizing. I want to ask you this as well because there's been a polarizing whether or not like Solskjaer is the guy to like push this team forward to bigger and better things on a consistent basis. Do you think that personally? Do you think that he still could be the one because he has been building the squad really well, especially over the last couple of years? Do you think he's the one that can also like push this team forward and win many silverware consistently for generations to come? Or do you think that another manager needs to come in and like be that final piece of the puzzle?
I believe at the moment it is a bit hard to tell. I believe from my perspective, I constantly think that Man United has been winning based on individual brilliance rather than a team effort. I think if you can compare to teams such as Aston Villa that I've been watching once in a while, that for Aston Villa they might not have as much talent, might not have as much depth, but you can see that you can tell what kind of game they're playing. You can tell that there are tactics involved. Whereas while watching this Man United team, a lot of the times it depends on perhaps Bruno, perhaps a little bit of brilliance from Cavani, Rashford, um, to really get the team to win. I think overall, I think in terms of coaching, they have to improve on that. I think that they have definitely have good players, but you can see that in a lot of the times in defense that they don't really, the marking seems a bit confused, the positioning seems to be confused, and you can see from like several of the goals that Greenwood tried to score. He scored two that were both off on the other side of the post, and Rashford did score one, a really good chance for Rashford to hit it straight to the goalkeeper. I think in terms of the coaching in those departments, they have to improve the coaching. I think Solskjaer can lead the club to a little bit longer, but overall, they definitely need to improve on the coaching.
Mm-hmm. And one final thing as well. Obviously, this first tie, big blowout. Do you think now it's just the second leg? Let's just put like a lot of fringe players in to see if they can prove themselves and move on to bigger and better things like the Premier League and obviously the next cup match, which is who is it against in the FA Cup?
I'm not too sure about that one as well. I will have to check that information. West Ham. So, I think for this Europa League game, obviously it's a really good lead. But as we have seen in the Champions League as well as the Europa League, sometimes a really strong lead doesn't mean anything. Although it is on away goals at the moment, it is basically settled. I think Solskjaer will put some fringe players on to try and get people to improve the fitness a little bit, just to get people some playing chances. You saw Amad Diallo, new signing. He got a chance to play today. I think he'll probably do a little bit of switches, but he's not going to let it he's not going to switch out the whole team. Some players will definitely get a bit of rest. I would say the game is basically settled.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jeffrey, for your thoughts and opinions of the games, guys. Please support our debutant. If you like his opinions, please give it a like. Please share this video. Please subscribe to the Soccer World channel, where we'll have more insight to the biggest of games. And thanks once again for dropping by, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And as always, y'all take care and peace.